Furthermore, we know, based on other evidences, as in the case of the statement in Surah At-Tahrim, verse 6, wherein Allah said regarding the angels, describing them, the angels as stern and severe, who do not disobey Allah in what He orders, but do whatever they are commanded. Angels do not disobey Allah. The jinn are another creation that have free will. This is one of the distinctions. The jinn share with human beings free will to obey or to disobey. Now, in terms of the jinn and their categories, they may be divided into three broad categories, according to statements of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, in which he said there are three types of jinn. One type which flies in the air all the time, another type which exists as snakes and dogs, and an earthbound type which resides in one place or wanders about. With regards to the jinn taking the form of snakes, we have statements of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, again, hadith reported by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, in which he said, Medina has in it a group of jinns who became Muslims. So whoever sees any snakes in their houses, request them to leave 3 times. If any of them appear after that, he should kill it, because it is a devil. There is also another narration, quite an extensive narration, found in Sahih Muslim, in which one of the companions, Abu Sa'ib, narrated an incident which took place. He said, once I visited Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, this is a tabi'i, a student of the companions, in his house, and found him praying. So I sat down in order to wait until he finished. While waiting, I heard something moving in the corner of the house. So I turned to see what it was, and to my surprise, it was a snake. I pounced on it in order to kill it, but Abu Sa'id motioned me to sit down, so I sat down. When the snake left, Abu Sa'id pointed to a house in the area and said, one of our young men who was recently married used to live in it. When we left with Allah's messenger for the battle of Khandaq, that's the battle of the trench, the young man would ask Allah's messenger permission to return to his wife during the midday. One day the Prophet allowed him to go, but told him, take your weapons with you, for I do not trust the Qurayza tribe. The tribe of the Jews. He took his weapons with him and returned home, only to find his wife standing in the doorway of the house. Jealousy overcome him, and he thrust his spear at her as if to stab her. However, she quickly said to him, hold back your spear and enter the house to see what expelled me. He entered and found a large snake curled up in his bed. So he thrust his spear at it and stabbed it. He then went out and embedded it in the courtyard, but it wrapped itself around him, and it was not known which of them died first, the snake or the young man. We went to Allah's messenger and informed him and asked him to pray to Allah to bring him back to life for us. The Prophet ﷺ said, verily in Medina there are jinns who have accepted Islam. So if you see any of them, ask them to leave over a period of 3 days. But if one appears after that, kill it, for it is a devil. He also said, verily these houses have snakes. So if any of you sees them, ask them to leave 3 times. If it leaves, fine, otherwise kill it, for surely it is a disbeliever. Then he said, go and bury your comrade. From that we know that when the Prophet ﷺ said that some of the jinn take the form of snakes, that is the form in which they exist, this is not something metaphorical. This is something real. Furthermore, in terms of dogs, we know Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us that our salah will be broken if there passes between us and our sutra a black dog. And he further described it as a black dog without any other colors on it. And we know that the jinn also take the form of human beings, as well as can be found in the narration of Abu Huraira regarding the verse Ayatul Kursi, which is found in Bukhari. Abu Huraira narrated that Allah's Messenger put him in charge of the zakah of Ramadan, Zakatul Fitr. And whilst he was guarding it, he heard somebody rummaging around inside of the food. So he caught a hold of him. And he told him, "By Allah, I'm going to take you to Allah's Messenger." And the man said to him, "Verily I am poor and I have dependents. I'm in great need." So Abu Huraira let him go. The next morning, the Prophet ﷺ asked Abu Huraira, "What did you do with your captive last night?" Abu Huraira was quite surprised. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was aware of what took place. He said, "He complained of being in great need and of having a family, so I let him go." The Prophet ﷺ said to him, "Surely he lied to you and he will return." Abu Huraira, knowing that the Prophet ﷺ spoke the truth, expected this man to return, so he waited for him. And when he found him back there rummaging around in the Zakatul Fitr, he grabbed him and told him, "Definitely I'm going to take you to Allah's Messenger." And the man again pleaded, "Let me go. Verily I am poor and I have a family. I won't return, I promise you." So Abu Huraira, soft-hearted companion, he let him go. Next morning, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ asked him again, "What did you do with your captive last night?" Because this was taking place in the night. He said that he complained again of great need and he promised not to return. And the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Surely he lied to you and he will return." So Abu Huraira again resolved himself, "This time I'm going to take a hold of this individual and bring him to Allah's Messenger." And sure enough, he came rummaging around in the Zakatul Fitr, and Abu Huraira caught a hold of him and told him, "No excuses now, I'm taking you to Allah's Messenger." There was no way. No matter how much he pleaded, Abu Huraira was not going to let him go. So he said to him, "Let me give you some words by which Allah will benefit you." Okay, he's going on to the other side of Abu Huraira. Because Abu Huraira, naturally as a companion of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, was very anxious to learn anything that could benefit him, bring him closer to Allah, protect him. So he said, "Okay, tell me, what are they?" He said, "Whenever you go to bed, recite Ayatul Kursi from beginning to end. If you do so, a guardian from Allah will remain with you and Satan will not come near you until the morning." So Abu Huraira let him go. Next morning, Allah's Messenger asked him, "What did you do with your captive last night?" So he told him. And then he told him about what he said. And the Prophet ﷺ asked him to inform him what he said. And he told him about Ayatul Kursi. And the Prophet ﷺ said to him, "Saduqa wa huwa kadhub." He has told you the truth, though he is a compulsive liar. He has told you the truth, though he is a compulsive liar. He then said to Abu Huraira, "Oh Abu Huraira, do you know who you've been speaking to with these last 3 nights?" Abu Huraira said, "No." He said, "That was an evil jinn, shaitan, a devil." So this informs us again that the jinn can take human form. And there are other incidences from the seerah, from the life of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which indicate this fact.